Everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Marsh, second by Commissioner Pelton to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. And on to the agenda, Commissioner Marsh,
No.
Commissioner Pelton.
No.
I have no additions. Entertain a motion for approval of the agenda as presented.
Motion to approve.
This
Second.
motion made by Commissioner Marsh, seconded by Commissioner Pelton to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, motion carried. Okay, before we turn it over to the road department, we need to do the oath of office for the auditor since she was an intern. She needs to take office immediately. Sally, could you speak, please?
I, Sally Whittingham, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of North Dakota, and faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Auditor Treasurer of the County of Dunn and the State of North Dakota to the best of my ability, so help me God. Thanks.
Congratulations. Okay, now we'll turn it over to Terry with the road department.
I guess we're finishing up graveling right now, and depending on weather, we might start hauling a little scoria. Mowing, they got about 1 day left. And I guess, I don't know. The other thing I wanted to bring up is the 103rd Avenue on the east side of Kilder there. The pavement's marked at 35, and the city was talking maybe we could go to 45 on that. So I guess, I don't know if you guys want to entertain a motion to do that pending the city's results.
I think that's a good idea.
I move that we follow whatever the city sets for a speed limit on 103rd off of 200.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Marsh to set the speed limit on 103rd, following the city's recommendation. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
I guess we can move on to the engineers.
Morning.
Morning.
Should be fairly brief for you guys today. The 86th Avenue and 82nd Avenue projects, kind of in the same, well, I guess they're not really in similar conditions. At 86th Avenue, we're trying to work with SHPO to see what we have for an avenue going forward. 92nd Avenue, that is planned for 2025 construction. We do have the permit for that project. We're currently working on easements for that roadway, so we just need to get those wrapped up this winter and out for bid. 100th Avenue permit has been secured on that. I do have a few meetings set up to finalize the easements over the next couple of weeks. And do expect to have this wrapped up soon as well. Planning for 2025 construction. I have been started putting together advertising for December meeting potentially, depending on how these last easement meetings go with landowners. 12th Street and 16th Street, the grading designs are pretty much complete on those. We do have a couple cultural sites that we're working around on those as well. So that'll be another topic of discussion with SHPO when I can get a sit down with them. We'll start working on those easements as well as we progress through that. Any questions so far? On the 2025 projects, 20th Street, 86th and 9th, and 98th Avenue, we did get all the field surveys done this summer, including the cultural and wetland. We are working through the grading designs on all those projects and made some good progress so far. We're going to begin evaluating our disturbances and impacts to environmental and cultural sites. Any question on any of the design projects? For the construction golf course road project, that work has all been completed. We did do a final inspection back on October 24th. The fencing work has begun on the project. We're working on the north side of the road early this week. With the weather, they've held off now for the last couple days. They intend to finish this year, but that all depend on the weather if they can get the fencing done. And they're working through that with the landowners, so no surprises there. The final estimate is out in the contractor's hands still currently, so they're waiting on some review from their subcontractors on their work. So they did not get that back to us in time to get on this meeting, but he assured me that he would have it approved prior to the next meeting so we can get that final payment made and close out that project. So there's about $150,000 remaining, which is mostly just retainage. So any questions on that? Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. I also have some brief updates for everyone. Can begin with Second Street Northwest and 84th Avenue Northwest. So we conducted a final inspection on 11/12/24. We had members of Gray Tech, Bartlett West, and Dunn County Road Department and road portfolio holder of the commission. Project was generally accepted. We did come up with some punch list items that were relatively minor, had some rock picking and some additional seating, etc. With that said, we've compiled a semi-final pay request number 10 and recommend payment in the amount of $588,433.68. We are still holding 2% retainage until completion of the punch list items.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we pay estimate number 10 on the Second and 84th, in the amount of $588,433.68 to Gray Tech.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Pelton, second by Commissioner Marsh to approve pay request number 10 in the amount of $588,433.68 to Gray Tech Construction on Second Street Northwest and 84th Avenue Northwest. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Marsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell?
Yes.
Commissioner Pilton?
Yes.
Commissioner Beener?
Yes.
Very good. And Mr. Chairman, you do have those in your. So the 2024 projects, 117th Avenue Southwest is complete and off the list. 14th Street Southwest, we had a pre-construction meeting on that same day, 11/12/24 with Schwartz. There was a tragedy out there. The foreman of their box culvert crew passed on a different job that week, so it's kind of left them strategizing and reorganizing for the installation of this box culvert. If you guys recall, they wanted to get that box culvert in this year. I'm not sure what this weather's going to do, but that is still the plan, and we still have proceeded accordingly. We've staked temporary fencing out there and working with landowners and the fencer. It's brown fencing. And we're proceeding as they're still going to attempt to install the box this year, but we haven't heard differently. But again, that the passing of their box culvert foreman has kind of left them scrambling to figure out how they're going to get it done. Next item on 119th Avenue Southwest, we collected right away a while ago. That's all been filed. We've been waiting for responses on utilities out there. Right now, we're down to Mackenzie Electric, Consolidated, and Marathon. Vince was here. Mackenzie last commission meeting getting permits. I asked him again about that and thought we were going to get something. I still have not gotten anything. Consolidated said that they were supposed to, they're really busy right now, and as soon as snow flies or they get freeze up, they can address it. Thinking maybe that'll be today, or at least to get the process started, but they just haven't been very responsive, any of these three remaining. We're pushing to hear back from them. We've got plans ready to go, but it doesn't really pay to bid this thing until they actually give us their input in case any redesign is required. But once we get that, we want to advertise and bid this thing. So any questions on 119th? Okay, last but not certainly least, 99th Avenue Southwest. So we're about 90% complete on those plans, and we've been struggling with cultural items out there. So the DOT also has a major project on Highway 200 and struggled with the same items, culturally sensitive items and mainly tribal culturally sensitive items. But they had to come up with, and they were on hold, and we just talked with them here the other week. Basically, any of those culturally sensitive areas, they were allowed to just put fill dirt on top of it and not do any excavation. That may be a way to proceed with that in order to get clearance or to get cultural to sign off on that. I've got some preliminary plans if anybody's interested, and I kind of started discussions with the road department yesterday about it. The only downside is it requires borrow because we have balanced design that they're not signing off on or haven't given us go ahead. So that would mean having a borrow source and then putting borrow dirt on top of any of the culturally sensitive areas, and that's what the DOT has done. But we'll have more discussions with the road department and see if that's the way you want to see. So, questions? Okay, moving along, for Manning, we're still navigating through the easement process with Southwest. I think we're gonna get somewhere on that. That means Terry has to bring donuts next meeting, I think, right?
Good.
So, we're trying to get, schedule some more meetings with Southwest representatives. There's been some holdups on their end. But, once we navigate through that, I think it should go pretty quick. Moving on to our 2025 projects, both 7th Street projects and 3rd Street projects, same update on all of those. Everything is moving forward and progressing with no major hiccups yet to this point. Trying to get to a point where we can start collecting right away out there. So, any questions on anything? All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darren.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to start off with our construction project. Final walkthrough took place on Thursday, November 14th. We are awaiting confirmation from the contractor on erosion control items, and we'll have the final estimate prepared for the December 4th commission meeting. They actually got back to me this morning and said that everything was good, so we'll be good to go in 2 weeks. Any questions on that one?
It looks good.
Thanks. I think so. Contractor was great. 109th, little movement. Easement documents are currently in review by the 2 major businesses on the route. We did receive an access agreement template from one of those businesses, which is in review. Once they comply, we'll revisit the residents, pushing our targeted bid date of December 18th, 2 months to February 19th, 2025, in hopes that we can continue good communication. On 27th, we're told that the deed of the one remaining property is now split, and we're just days away from being able to confirm that, and they get it all recorded. Both parties are in favor of the project. Core approval should also be only days away. However, if it's not received within the next week, we'll be forced to push our bid date from December 18th into the new year. Any questions on those two? Okay, on to 82nd South. Finishing touches are taking place on plan production. Temp easement descriptions are being finalized with some minor revisions. We had to adjust some approaches, so we have to adjust our temp easement. We have submitted the Corps, been working with them on review. Bid opening is still currently targeted for February 5th. And north segment, corridor design continues for this project. Designers are sizing pipe, placing approaches, and working on wetland mitigation. We have targeted a core application submittal date of November 27th with a bid date of March 19th. Any questions on 82nd or anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Jim.
Got a couple final pay estimates to present. Starting with 7th Street, being built by Martin Construction. We have prepared pay estimate number 17 It's the final pay estimate. The amount is $21,768, which we would recommend payment to Martin Construction for that project.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we pay estimate number 717 to Martin Construction in the amount of $21,768.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Dalzell, second by Commissioner Marsh to approve pay estimate number 17 in the amount of $21,768 to Martin Construction on 7th Street Southwest. Any discussion? Hearing none.
Commissioner Marsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall,
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton, Commissioner Beaner.
Yes, motion carried.
Next pay estimate we have is for 110th Avenue. It is also the final pay estimate. This one is number 7. The amount is $25,646.08, which would be payable to Jensen Brothers Construction.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we pay estimate number 7 on 110th Avenue in the amount of $25,646.08 to Jensen Brothers Construction.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Pelton, second by Commissioner Dalzell to approve pay estimate number 7 in the amount of $25,646.08 to Jensen Brothers Construction on 110th Avenue. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Marsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Dolzall,
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaner.
Yes, motion carried.
So the other project that's under active construction, the construction's complete, but we'll still have to have one more pass for 114th Avenue. That'll be presented at next meeting. We're still resolving some quantities, but the construction's done and it's been approved. We just need to final the quantities, but that'll be done at the next meeting. Same with the seal coat. The project's done. We're just working with the DOT on their final documents. As far as design projects, I'll kind of lump them together. We're getting easements and core permits. This week, I think we got, so far this week, I think we got 7 parcels signed up on different projects and 3 or 4 more parcels pending. So I think we're making pretty good progress on easements. There's always going to be some that are a little more difficult than others, but so far it's going fairly well on the different projects. So I think at the next meeting, I'll try to assign some target dates for bid opening times or dates, but right now we're just a little uncertain on some of these core permits, but I think by next meeting we'll assign some target dates for bid opening dates. Any questions on anything?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Gary, do we have utility permits?
No, there's no utility permits this time.
And that's it with the road?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Sally, do you want to kind of go through the list here of an election update first?
Sure. I just wanted to give you an update on the election. We did have our canvas board on Monday. They did confirm the election and certify. So those official election results are on our website and they will be posted in next Wednesday's paper. Got that taken care of. All the post-election audits have been done and we are balanced. So I just want to give everybody an update on that.
The first commission meeting in January.
And I just wanted to let you guys know that the 1st of January is Wednesday. So I just wanted you guys to be thinking about the first meeting since we're closed that day. Of course, we don't have to make any decisions today, but it'll have to be either after Thursday or Friday, or it'll have to be the following Monday that we do that first commission meeting of the year. So just keep that in mind.
We might as well decide now. You think Thursday, the next day?
It's fine with me.
We need a motion to do that.
Probably.
I move that we switch the first meeting in January to January 2nd, 9 a.m.
There's a second.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Pelton, seconded by Commissioner Dalzell to move the January 1st meeting to January 2nd at 9 a.m. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay. You want to the extension office stipends?
Okay, so in the past years, we have given the two extension agents a stipend to bring their salaries up to what they would be if they were a Dunn County employee. This is a practice done by most counties with extension agents. So we don't have any numbers yet. Jim Gray just contacted me and asked me if we would like to continue that throughout 2025. And then we will have some numbers to approve.
Maybe since we don't have numbers, it's like a consensus that, or do you want a motion?
So Jim is asking that if we're going to continue.
Right, if we're gonna continue to
Mhm.
give Chris and Kirsten stipends.
But we don't know the number.
We do not know the numbers. He wanted to know, to get the consensus first, see if you guys wanted to do it, and then he will come up with the final numbers.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I agree. And then we would just enter into the MOU and approve that.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
What are everybody else's thoughts?
I'm fine.
Yeah, we're gonna need to continue.
I agree. Will, is it too early or are you ready? Okay. Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning. Will.
Morning.
All right, Mr. Chairman and Commission. I apologize in advance if this kind of doesn't make sense or if it needs clarification. I tried my best to kind of explain what I'm here proposing and why I'm proposing it. We've talked throughout the year about a possible restructure in my building and grounds department. This is kind of a generalized direction. And basically how I'll start this is by saying the building and grounds over the past 8 to 10 years has seen exponential growth and demand in what its scope of work has been. So obviously it was a department of 1 and now it's a department of 4. And we are looking to have a clear structure moving forward. And it's basically growing pains of a growing department. And this is my proposal to move forward with a clear hierarchy of how this department could be structured based on your approval. So backing up just a bit, one of the roles that and responsibilities that has kind of come to the forefront that isn't traditionally something that we would do in the building and grounds is handling park board, park business. It's something that the park board and I, as a park board member, have discussed, and we came up with the conclusion that it would be a good move if I resigned from the park board and became more of a director of parks. That's the recommendation of the park board to move forward. I would still be the building and grounds supervisor, but we're looking to house the administrative work, the work that is done with the different agencies that handle park board business, being the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, a liaison, and somebody to handle meeting minutes, agenda, that kind of thing, handle the administrative work that was being handled by a separate department prior to now, and that's kind of not in their scope of work anymore. So there is a need for that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, there's always been a need where we're currently staffed, completely busy. Our current group of people that are working in my department are busy. And if anybody is gone in that current structure, it makes it very difficult and it's quite a strain. So basically, to come back to the proposal and what I handed out, the current structure is obviously building and grounds, and then I dictate and oversee the department as a whole. Okay, so there's 2 janitorial workers and a maintenance assistant currently that are full-time. I kind of go through some of the important points on this. Basically, there's issues if you look at this hierarchy in the current structure with if I'm gone or if one of the other people are gone, it really does impact what we're able to accomplish as a department. So in the proposed hierarchy, what I'm proposing, and one of the requests that was made is that I come up with a kind of generalized, what would my department look like if we were to restructure it? So currently, my plan for a hierarchy is to have 2 separate groups, janitorial and maintenance, and have a lead in each of those, almost a supervisory role where they take over certain aspects of the building and grounds department with maintenance and janitorial. And I still supervise, but also act as park director to fill in for some of those needs from the park department. My ultimate goal is to continue to grow the park department. And I think if that is going to be part of the goals moving forward, there needs to be a clear person in charge of that area. So those are some of the key things that I wanted to point out. I do have some budget impacts for the new proposal. It will increase department payroll. That was, and I do want to back up too. This is something that I've had in the works for a while, but we've all kind of had to wait and see what the election results were going to be before I came to you and proposed something that may require, changing of the budget. And I didn't want to do that with the election and possible changing of things in general. Increased department payroll. There would be an increase in hourly wage based on the janitorial lead and maintenance lead moving up into a higher pay scale. I met with Desi. And if it means anything to you, A13 and B21 would be where those new positions would land on the pay scale. Okay. So I have done that much. I kind of know where that falls, but I haven't put any actual hard numbers because I wanted to discuss this with you, see if this was something that the commission would be in favor of. Also, hiring an additional full-time maintenance tech to assist the maintenance lead would be my recommendation. And then giving the maintenance lead authority to take home a county vehicle similar to what I have authority to do. Just in the off chance that if they're going to be the maintenance tech lead, that they would have the ability to, in the case of an emergency or whatever, go from home to wherever needs any sort of addressing on the maintenance side of things. So goals is to really provide continued excellence in my department to the county, improve as a team, grow the parks department, have clear defined goals and responsibilities in my department, allow more time for continued education, and to retain our current employees. Then I kind of go through, and it's clear. I don't need to go through every point unless there are questions. But we've got 11 properties that we take care of. I have them all listed out there. Some are more than others, obviously. The courthouse is obviously more of a higher responsibility than, say, like the new Raddick trailer that we end up taking care of from time to time. So I guess it's all relative, but I kind of go through some generalized responsibilities for each of the new areas, and that really encompasses what I'm proposing. I don't know how to go about a motion if you guys are wanting to move forward with a decision like this, but I'm open to questions and I hope it all makes clear sense. Any questions?
How many more people are you looking at adding right
Just,
now?
just one, just one. One full-time maintenance assistant. And we had kind of talked about that in my budget. I actually proposed this for a possible full-time or part-time person. So it has been approved in my budget, but I wanted to give you a clear outline of what my goals are and what my thoughts are with the department. Without getting into real specifics, I wanted to kind of show you what my thoughts were as best I could on paper. And if they don't make sense, I apologize. So
The janitorial lead and maintenance lead, that would be going to a different pay, on the pay scale?
yes, they would basically, what I'm looking to do is,
On your sheet, is that your janitorial worker or the department?
which sheet are you looking at?
Oh,
Second.
And like I said, I'm sorry.
So the bottom two people on the list would go higher in the pay scale.
No.
Second
No.
to the bottom.
The leads would end up becoming more of a supervisory role.
Oh,
And what I'm really looking to do is give the maintenance and the janitorial a point of contact besides myself, right? If there's something wrong with the buildings, will I still be involved? Absolutely. But I'm looking to have more than one person as a point of contact so that if in the case that I or whoever is gone, it provides more than one person to be able to handle the work that needs to be done. It also really improves our succession plan. By spreading the supervisory role a little bit besides just myself, I think it definitely gives more people some power to make decisions in the case of people being absent. Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, Will, thanks for putting all this together. Very good
You're
job.
welcome.
Part of the lead maintenance tech, are we talking, besides the title tech, we're talking tech as far as IT helping with that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, tech was just the word.
I know.
Yeah, it's just
but-
it's a working title to try and explain the
Mhm.
best we could, because you can only have so much like supervisor, director,
Mhm.
lead, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's a way of basically giving them
Right.
a title of ownership of
Right.
that. But go
But
ahead.
my question is, would that person be able to assist us with some of the IT things that we definitely need some help in this building, well, across the buildings,
And
departments.
that's something that has evolved. I
Mhm.
mean, in
Right.
6 months ago, I will tell you honestly, no,
Mhm.
that was never part of the deal. But now that we've got a person that's got some experience in that,
Mhm.
I definitely see that being
Yeah.
housed under our umbrella of department, is being able to assist. And it's slowly kind of
Right.
taken shape. And that's the other justification for me looking to hire an assistant in maintenance, is because if the lead is handling IT stuff and different, wearing many different
Mhm.
hats, that's the crux of this department, is there's many different hats that somebody has to wear, and you have to find very good individuals. And this is also a way for me to try and retain those individuals that are valuable to the
Mhm.
county. So yes, to answer your question,
Mhm.
Commissioner Dalzell, is it? Yes, I see that being part of the scope of responsibility.
Mr. Chairman, I kind of like the proposal he's put forth. I don't know if the rest of you want to, consider it further. Or have Will and Desi put together some of the costs or impacts and bring it back to us at the next meeting?
Yeah, I'm not against it, but I'd like to know more about it and kind of know where the numbers are gonna be at. Desi. So,
Yeah, I know that there is, without getting into specifics, there will be an increase in hourly based on the, what does she call it? The DVM or DVM
Mhm.
model. So there are some of those things, and she gave me those numbers, and if we need to flesh out exact numbers, I'm okay with that. I will say that I know we're in the midst of a new year. I know we're in the midst of a different commission taken. The reason I'm here, I would have been here the day after the election, but I felt like that was too soon. So I gave it a couple, 2 weeks, but I'm really looking for direction here. I know I will provide direction to my department, but I would like to have my proposal either approved or not, simply from the standpoint of that my department needs to have a goal or an outlook moving forward. So I don't want to push anybody, but I do want you to understand that I'm really looking to run with this January 1st and start with this in mind. I'm not sure if hiring a full-time employee right away, I don't see myself doing that, but at least having a framework to where when I talk to my employees and say, this is where we're headed, that it's approved and that, because I've hinted at this for 6 months and I really would like to have a clear answer if possible.
yeah, like I said, I'm not against it, just gotta absorb it and.
True.
And try to, you gotta know the numbers too, so like, just the techs or the two leads are gonna go up in wages, is yours gonna change?
That I didn't even, Desi was, she was right before she was leaving. She did this kind of as a favor to run through the DMB to kind of get an idea because I didn't know where we were going to fall. Haven't even looked at where I'm at. Haven't even, and in fact, I'm okay if I stay where I'm at. I just simply want.
It's part of the equation, we gotta know,
True, 100%.
you know what I mean? That's kind of what the numbers game, like, what does that do to your department? Does everybody, I mean, like how, cause you're kind of changing the structure of it.
Exactly,
Which
and
is
that's
not saying it's bad, but we gotta know the details, the small details.
agreed, and that's really why I'm here too, is to be transparent about what my goals are and to get a clear framework laid out. So,
What is everybody else's thoughts?
Mr. Chairman, so we did put into your budget, was approved for an additional person already,
right,
correct?
right.
So if that is something, depending on how things go, like you mentioned, it may not be something we do right away
Right.
and see how things go. The money is there for these adjustments already. And whether we decide to go with an additional person, say in 4 or 5 months, whatever. By doing this, changing the structure to the lead techs and their DBM changing, that money's already in his budget. So I guess, I'm fine with waiting till the next meeting. And I guess one other thing I wanted to say, when you talk about the election, you're talking about Measure 4.
Measure 4.
Yeah.
That was 100. If Measure 4 wouldn't have been on the table and there wouldn't have been real risk at the county level being changed 100%, and then me adding another wrench, and I would never have waited
Right.
this long.
Yeah.
I would have put this forth way before that.
Mhm.
But yeah, and the way I see it is when we really ramp up and there's a demand on time for the maintenance department is when the grass starts really, really growing. So June, July, those guys have always been on a mower. Well, with 2 mowers, that definitely changes their work. And so I probably wouldn't move forward with that second maintenance person until, summer, spring, and maybe that person is a seasonal until I find the right person. Because if I open it and there's not the right fit, I don't want to hire someone until I find that person. So it could be a temporary position or a seasonal position for
Yeah.
the whole next year.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that
Mhm.
that's clear as well. So,
Yeah, and again, I'm not against that because that was in your budget, but now you're taking everybody else and kind of going to different levels.
right,
So how does that look?
Right.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
yep,
You're,
So,
it's not a bad thing. You had somebody else hired, but now you just want to take everybody else.
Yeah.
And put structure to it.
yep, a
So how does
hierarchy of how the department operates, and then make that widely known so that if another department needs assistance and I don't pick up my phone or whatever, they've got contact information, and everybody should be able to communicate with one another. So,
You probably have enough money in your budget right now.
yes,
right, yeah,
I do.
I think.
I think you can go ahead and run your.
I agree. It's in the budget now. It would come down to whether we feel it's justified to add another person, either seasonal or full-time, down the road.
Yeah.
The other thing I like about this is the succession part of it. That's something in our strategic plan, and we've all agreed that's important and we should have that. And
Yeah.
to have the right person to be able to step in case, you decide to go to work at McDonald's or something.
I know.
I'm
I know it
kidding.
has been a risk. Yeah.
I think too, if that gives you, you have a fairly new person on. So
Yes.
that gives you time to adjust where that person best fits your
Yeah.
situation. So, 3 months from now, when you need a seasonal person or whatever, that gives you some time to adjust all that.
Yeah. Yep, it does. And the other thing too is it provides a framework that maybe in the near future there's a need for, and who knows what the additional impact may or may not be. At least there's a hierarchy of where that person may fit in this current setup, instead of just
Right.
we need another person. Well, in what way? And in what avenue do they fit? This helps kind of delineate that a lot more clear.
Sounds good.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, yeah, I think, do we need a motion right now or just,
I think he can just go ahead and run.
Go
his
ahead
department.
and-
He's got the
yeah.
money there.
yeah,
Okay. And as far as like the park board, I know that they'll probably we felt like if I'm going to be acting as answering to the park board and having their marching orders, so to speak, even though I was a park board member, me stepping down and filling that with another person starting in January. So as long as we're covered by that, like it doesn't require a motion, and then I would wear that different hat, so to speak, with the park director. And that includes handling basically it's running the campground, handling all the calls, running web reserve, all the other things that are involved in that were being handled by someone else that, now
Mhm.
falls on us. So as long as everybody's aware of that, and that does impact me moving forward, it is something that my department has kind of enveloped. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. And if we're good, I'll do my thing and we'll just continue to do it. So, okay.
sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
Yep.
Sarah, are you online?
I'm pulling into the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll do vouchers until you get here.
Do you know what the repairs to the wheat building were for? 500 roughly. Under buildings. Okay, okay. But, oh. Okay, thank you. Schmidt, yeah. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the vouchers
There's a second.
presented.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Dalzell, second by Commissioner Marsh to approve the vouchers. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Commissioner Marsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Dalzell,
Yes.
Commissioner Pelton,
Yes.
Commissioner Beaner.
Yes, motion carried. Sarah?
Good morning, Commission. How are you today?
Good.
I just would like to come before you about rescinding the total burn ban requests that we had put in place first part of October when the wildfires
Mhm.
went out, and then revert back to the
Restrictions.
restrictions as we had established in April. So.
Mhm.
And that is, I have discussed it with
Yeah. That
the
was my
fire
question,
chiefs.
yeah.
So.
Questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we rescind our current burn ban and revert back to the burn ban we had before we put that in place.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Pelton, second by Commissioner Marsh to rescind the total burn ban, and go back to the restrictions we put on in April. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Thank you.
I will get it printed out for you to sign that, Cody, and then
Yeah.
I'll update all the state websites today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, anything else? Motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
second.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Marsh, seconded by Commissioner Dalzell to adjourn. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
It's a record. Two. Thank you.